Judgment time.
Welcome to Everything Comes Back to 2000AD, and today I'm joined by Mr. Stephen Ross.
Mr. Rossy, what you want? Oh, the tree of ice cream cones, a cocoa castle for a home, custard cakes, coffee rakes, holiday, we're on the same.
Hello, I've been known to sail the seven seas, but now I'm living in them as I've got a leak in my basement, and I'll have to leave early to take care of that. But today was brought to you by Spritz Vibe. We'll see if that actually, and I haven't had a lot of sleep, so we'll see if this works.
Mr. John Burtis.
Hello to all you drockers out there. Now, I'm afraid to say I might not be alive much longer because we have a knobhead who's our next Prime Minister who wants to tax us all into oblivion. So people like me who work hard, we're going to just die because we have to work harder and harder. So the work shine, feckless, and the lazy fuckers out there can live the life of Riley. So if I only live for another year, you know it all started this day.
You're doing it for climate change, John. Get your zero growth population going, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of zero growth population and people dying,
yes.
Leave me hanging, bro.
I know, I'm sorry, because my fucking things I've just written have disappeared. Oh, yes, it's not. Oh, they've disappeared again. Where the fuck have they been? Oh, wow. Yes, people. I've ruined Mr. Ross's fucking segue for me. But it's that time of the week again. Let's see which famous people we know or don't quite know, but know of their works, have died and left this mortal coil and gone off somewhere worse. Well, it can't be much worse in this place at the moment, depending on what country you were dead from. But anyway, here we go. First up is Scott Bryce, age 68, an American actor who died suffering from cancer. Now, what did he do? He starred in Lethal Weapon 3, Visions of Murder, Up Close and Personal, but he was mainly in TV shows that we'll all have seen, which is stuff like Blue Bloods, Homeland, 30 Rock, Law and Order, Sex and the City. But the main one he was in was one which I haven't seen, but I presume you Americans might know of. It was called Popular. He was in 43 episodes of that.
Wow.
Yes, but
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Okay, well, we'll get to his biggest one, which he was in 280 episodes, which is another one I've never heard of. But he was also in Law and Order, Homicide, Life on the Streets, Matlock, The Golden Girls, 2000, Malibu Road, Murphy Brown, The Facts of Life. But he was in As the World Turns.
Oh, soap opera.
Right, yeah. And he was in 280 episodes of that. I'm just looking here. He was nominated for awards for that soap opera, but yeah, I don't recognize his face. But anyway, he is no longer.
Just say his name was again.
His name was Scott Bryce, Bryce.
I think my dad probably, my mom and dad probably watched him.
He kind of looks familiar. Yeah, he kind of looks familiar. I may have seen him in one or two things.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where another character actor who was in, like, he did big things, but he did lots of other stuff where he was probably
Yeah.
brought in as guest star type thing, all that. Um, okay, next one we've got. What? Oh, yeah, that's weird. We've got William Wisher Jr., age 71, American screenwriter. Now, do you know what he did stuff for? We've
Oh, he
seen
did a lot of good stuff.
he did basically everything we've ever fucking watched. The Terminator,
Yeah.
Terminator, right?
Desperado, Terminator 2, Judge Dredd from 95, The
Wow.
13th Warrior, Exorcist, The Beginning,
Yeah.
Dominion, prequel to Exorcist, Live Free or Die Hard. Then uncredited revisions he was involved with, Pumpkinhead, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Judgment Night, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Broken Arrow, Eraser, Mercury Horizon,
Jeez.
Live Free or Die Hard. And then he had, it weirdly, he has, it says unmade projects, which I've never seen before on any of these things, which is interesting.
As long as Rossy's.
No,
projects.
it's I can see it all on one page. One of them I do know of I think it became a game, Rainbow Six, an adaptation of the Tom Clancy novel, but it also became a game. So it's things like that. But his acting credits, he was in The Terminator as a police officer. The Abyss, he was Bill Tyler, which I'm not very sure on the names. But also in Terminator 2, Judgment Day, I love these sort of things. He was a tourist photographer in the Galleria Mall. So I presume that was when Arnie was being chased and did he get shot through the window and he saw the dummy or something like that? Yeah, I think it was that sort of part of the film. But yeah, very interesting. So yeah, screenwriters.
Interesting career, huh?
It's like the screenwriters are the unsung heroes, isn't it? Because it doesn't matter how the film might have the best stars and it's like if the story's shit or the major fuck ups in it, it comes down to him before the director. So anyway, next up,
they don't make action writers like that guy anymore. I'll tell you that.
That's it. I've just got to do this for some reason. A wrong name came up. Let's get that. Right, so next up we got Brenda Fricker, aged 81, Irish actress. Now, she was in fucking tons of TV stuff, which we'll go through first. Let's go. Fuck me, this is a long one. Let's just go. Ooh-hee! So she was in. I'm just trying to see. Let's just go down. The Cat. These are the modern day ones. We're going back in time. The Catch. We got Locked In, Beautiful People, Stone of Destiny. We got Call Me, Rise and Fall of Heidi Fleisch. She was the old madam, wasn't she? We've got Veronica Guerin, Conspiracy of Silence. Guerin, yeah.
And it's Irish, so you're supposed to say, Veronica Guerin.
Sorry, these are the films that I'll get to the TV stuff. Trauma, Conspiracy of Silence, The Intend, Durango, Resurrection the American, Resurrection Man, A Time to Kill, Moll Flanders, No Man of Importance, So I Married an Axe Murderer, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That's quite funny.
That's where she played Piers Morgan.
She really good one. She was a Central Park pigeon woman. She was in My Left Foot, probably brought her to acclaim in that. But before that, she was in the TV series Casualty for fucking many a year. Coronation Street. Why is this in the filmography? Quatermass Conclusion, Upstairs, Downstairs. And then she's got
that's going back. She must have been really young for that one.
The Upstairs Downstairs was 75, but she was also in stuff in 64 of Human Bondage, uncredited, and 69 in Sinful Davy, uncredited. The poster of that was quite good. It's a bloke getting hung with loads of sexy women around him and one cutting the rope above his head.
Well, I'll tell you what, she wasn't one of the sexy women.
Well, she might be in '69. Hey!
Hey, hey.
Um,
She was. I've known her as a stage actress. I actually
yeah.
seen her in the early '90s. She did a play called Big Maggie on at the Abbey Theatre, and I got to see her in that
Ah.
role. So that's my introduction to Brenda Fricker.
Yeah, because it's got a selected theatre work at the Royal National Theatre, the Plough and the Stars, Lavender Blue, at the Royal Court Theatre, Within Two Shadows, A Pagan's Place. She also did A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Typhoid Mary, Macbeth, Outskirts, TV Times, The Accrington Pals, Lost Word, The
Jeez.
Weeping of Angels. But yeah, again, she's one of those people, she can move from the theatre, because the theatre acting, for anyone who doesn't
Yeah.
know, you have to project your voice so everybody at the back hears it.
Mhm.
Whereas, and you've got to do larger facial expressions and movements, so it's more sort of like dramatic, and it's more animated to let people know exactly what you're feeling. Whereas on the films and TV, the camera's right on you, so it's just tiny movements of your face. You know what I mean? So it's a completely different thing. So,
Well,
so
she
that's
what was I going to say about her? She's more known over here in the US as the Pigeon Lady from Home Alone 2, and as the mom in So I Married an Axe Murderer. That's it.
oh yeah,
Yeah, she's actually pretty
ah,
funny as the mom. Have you seen that
right.
movie? When's the last time you seen that movie?
What? So I married an Axelberger
Yeah,
when it came out.
it's actually a pretty funny movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
I was one of those people who saw it when it came out.
yeah, if you
Uh,
watch it again, it's actually funnier now that you're older.
yeah.
Well,
Ah,
One of
now
those
that she's
things.
now that she's gone, there's an opening for another British actor, right?
that's
No,
right.
she's not.
Yes,
Well, that would be if she was British.
that's it. She's
She's not
Irish,
British, Rossy.
We
right?
use it interchangeably, like punk rock.
No,
Right.
it's not. She's not British, Rossy. She's not even like Scottish, English, or Northern Ireland
That's
or
right.
Welsh.
Oh, oh.
She's
She's
still
not
part.
British.
She was part of the EU still.
Mm.
That's right. That's them.
Yeah.
So and the final one I've got is Dave Kendall. Can you believe it?
What, the artist?
No,
What?
it's a writer, journalist, and disc jockey. Not the one. That's the only reason I got that one. And he was famous in the UK for debuting Nirvana's "Smells Like Teen Spirit" on the radio.
Yeah.
So, and he also did writing for Melody Maker, which was a big thing in the past. It was NME and Melody Maker they always battled it out.
They
He
still
was
around.
born.
Those magazines aren't around anymore, are they?
No, I don't think either in the round. I think NME won out in the end, but I think it's just people just didn't buy them. You know, well, that's
Mm.
with life, innit? If you don't buy it, unless you got a benefactor who's insane who just doesn't mind wasting money. But anyway, Kendall was
The
born in Liverpool.
cosplay is nights.
Yes. He relocated to New York City in '84.
New York
Uh,
City.
that's right. Was he originally on an exchange program through the London School of Economics, from which he soon dropped out. Well done. And it says he worked on stuff for Channel 4, Travel Channel, Animal Planet. Eventually moved to Los Angeles in the DJ scene during these decades. He also mixed trance shit. But yeah, but I only picked his name because obviously I knew you'd think it was the other Dave Kendall.
Dave Kendall. Who's going to finish his artwork?
That's it, I know.
Yeah, kick W to finish it.
But no, didn't yeah. No, it wasn't didn't it was the one who didn't Dave actually die the other year, Dave Kendall. Who was the one where there was lots of arguments online about him never sending the art to people, and there was a lot of people posting
Oh,
stuff.
that's God. They had Chris Weston finishes Pete Doherty, was it? No,
No, Pete's slowly
Pete's still
recovering from
around. It
strokes.
wasn't Pete. It was wasn't it the guy that Dave Taylor, wasn't it?
Dave Taylor. It was
Oh,
another
yeah.
Dave. Yeah, another Dave.
Another Dave.
That's what I was getting me Dave's mixed. That's me taking
Big
the
Dave.
piss with. That's me taking the piss adding Dave Kendall, who's not the Dave Kendall we know, and then getting mixed up with another Dave because I've just fucking done too many Daves.
You know
But,
he's gonna. You know somebody's gonna email him. I heard you were dead.
Yeah, I heard you were dead, and I didn't listen to anything they said afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's how fans are these days.
Yeah, as soon as it
By the-
happens, pause.
Or to his
Gets
wife
the
or
email
girlfriend.
out.
I heard Dave's dead. Any chance I could buy some of his artwork cheap?
Oh God, yeah, that's the way people are, aren't they? And we know that
Yeah.
for a fact. That as soon as
Mhm.
it's like fucking hell, let them get buried or cremated first before you fucking do something.
No,
Oh,
they'll be outside the dumpster waiting for all the artwork to be dumped.
hello. Is that Mrs. Bisley? Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but it's just been on the TV that your husband's died in a car crash. Oh, you haven't been told? Well, anyway, he told me that you'd be able to give me some of his artwork.
Wow.
That's the shit, isn't it? That's
That's
what
the
it's
shit
like.
that they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
Well, I mean, you
unbelievable.
got to be there first, I guess. It's early bird and all. Well, anyway, go ahead.
You
and
don't have to
announce-
worry about it, that Rossy. When you go, it all goes with you in that big pyre.
Yeah, because
That's it.
honestly, nobody's going to want to eat. Yeah.
That's it. Oh, and the other
Um,
thing that died was well, what was it called again? It was fucking England.
Oh, that was one of
England
my debts.
football. England football. Losers, perennial losers. I don't think I'll ever see them win a fucking champions fucking ship, Euros or World Cup to the rest of my life. So I'm glad they
Well,
all lost because,
that was
as you
one of the-
know, the last
Yeah.
thing I wanted was them to fucking win, even though they probably get this shit, even though they're losers, because this is how this country works. They will all be fucking given knighthoods, and we'll never hear the fucking end of it. That they scored the most goals in a match or whatever it was. They fucking got the highest they've been since 1966. Oh, do you know what? The problem is, I'll tell you what. The generation that were in '66 was still fucking. They're still recovering from World War II, so they knew what suffering was and all that. So they fucking went for it. These namby-pambies are paid so much they haven't got a fucking
Well,
hard ball in them to
even
fucking
in
do anything.
'66, you cheated. You got a goal that wasn't a goal.
Oh, did the VR tell you that?
Well, according to Messi, he should have had a penalty because back in
Messi.
1966, you guys cheated.
Messi, he's a fucking big baby. He's a big baby from a country of losers. They were
Well,
so
anyway, John-
close. They were so close to the Falklands, and they couldn't fucking even handle it, could they? We sent some Gurkhas down. They shot themselves because the Gurkhas were there. Then they heard the Paras and the fucking commandos were coming over the hills, and they shot themselves some more. Fucking hell.
But I'll
Brilliant.
tell you what, they have a better chance of taking it now than they had back then because you guys don't really have a military now.
Well, we don't, but we got the kit down there to repulse everything.
There you
That's
go.
the thing. You don't need the manpower when you got the kit there. I saw the kit go in, and I was there in 85. There was kit down there already when they built the. You love this. The nickname for Mount Pleasant is called. It might be different now. They might have nicknamed it differently. You know what people are like.
Mm.
It was called the Death Star because you entered one door and you could walk through everything without coming outside again because of the weather. So everything was designed, apart from getting to the airplanes and shit, you know what I mean, all that. Everything was designed so you didn't go outside. But yeah, there's stuff down there, you know what I mean? And obviously there's enough stuff to take anything out that comes. And the problem with their jets is there's only so much fuel you have to get that distance before you need to turn back and go away again.
Fuel.
And that was their. If they had an aircraft carrier and they could get close, they might have been able to do something. But then obviously we would have done another gotcha on them and destroyed the aircraft carrier. And when people cry and say, "Oh, you shouldn't have sunk the Belgrano," that'd be like saying in World War II, "Don't attack any German ships if they're not near Germany or England. Don't attack them in the Atlantic. Let them just sink our ships." No, as far as I'm fucking concerned, you sink every fucking ship that was fucking out of port of Argentina. I don't give a fucking shit. It's war. You know what I mean? And all these people be crying, going, "John, you evil bastard." Well, I'll tell you what, go and say that to the fucking squaddies on both sides who died. You know what I mean?
They'll say that to you anyway, though, John.
Well, that was one of my debts, anyways. The death of England's World Cup dream. And here's the thing, though: the team was actually a pretty good team. That England team is one of the strongest teams I've seen, and I blame Tuchel, the manager. It took a German to bring down England. He went so defensive in the last 20 minutes plus of that game against Argentina, and you just don't do that. Even as an amateur player and an amateur coach manager, I've won so many fucking titles that I know you don't do that against a team like Argentina. Now you can do it in the last 5 minutes or 6 minutes to shut up shop, right? But you still play open. You go for that second goal. You go for the kill, and he had the players to do it. You had Saka and Rashford and some other players on the bench you could have brought on to do that because the game was very even Steven up until they got the goal, and then he set back. He put 6 defenders on. Nobody does that. I mean, it was just horrendous. And then I think it's because you defended so well in the Azteca against Mexico that he decided to do that so quick. But the thing with the Azteca game is that Mexico are terrible, number one, and and the fact that you won that game with 10 men on the field shows you how bad Mexico were. So Argentina's a different kettle of fish, and it's just something you don't do. I'm surprised the FA have kept him. Like I would have that was a schoolboy error, and I would have sacked him straight after. Because you had the greatest chance of getting to a World Cup final since 1966. Now the thing is, Spain would have fucking hammered you in the final, but at least you would have got there. It would have been your strongest ever. Well, it still is your strongest ever finish with third place, and that third place game was a cracker, or the cracker of a game. It was way better than the final. The final was a bit dour. But yeah, England. I mean, this is what happens when you go for managers or coaches that don't take risks.
Well, see, I agree with him, but I also say that the psychological mindset of the team is shit. They're not winners. They're fucking losers. They're useless. They can't handle it when fucking things go against them. Now, I like to compare these.
I would say that would be true of older English teams, not this one. I
mean, all
of
them. The golden generation.
This manager is completely to blame. When you have Harry Kane in the back defending and he's a striker, that England had no outlet. Whenever they get the ball, they just boot it up the field because they're defending. Yeah. That's a coaching thing. That's Tuchel. That's not the players.
Yeah, but they should have said, "Fuck him. We get paid millions of pounds to have a knowledge of football. We're going to fucking get a second goal." I said to Cowlan, when we got back in after the fucking gigs, after the festival, got back in, we watched the last 12 minutes, and they put some more fucking defenders on, and I watched, and I went, well, you know what, I hate football, but I'm going to tell you what's happening now, Cowlan. Argentina are going to score, and then we'll go on a downer, and they'll score again and win. And I said that over the period, and she just looked at me, and she went, you said exactly what was going to happen. I said, yeah. Because I know they're a fucking bunch of knobheads, nonsense, losers, fucking useless fuckers.
That's not them. That's
it is
the
them. It is. Who is playing
the coach
on the
makes
pitch?
The coach
Who
makes the
is
decisions.
Playing on the pitch?
Who calls the shots?
You can't call the shots from the sidelines.
Yeah, you can. Of course he did. Of course he did. How many defenders? If you can't call the shots from the sidelines,
you can't call the shots. Listen to me.
If you can't call the shots from the sidelines, why did he put on two defenders if you can't call the shots?
Oh no, I'm saying when the players are playing, they can't hear them in the stadium when they're on the other side of the pitch. They can't hear them shouting, "Oh, you fucking winger, come back!" Right? You're a winger who's been trained all your life to be a fucking winger. Do your fucking winging and fucking get that ball.
You can't do your winging when you're not on the field.
Yeah, but they're all footballers. They can do everything. They should do everything.
No, you're talking like someone that's never played the game.
I played the fucking game.
No,
you kick a ball.
Well, you haven't played it. Playing out in the street with your mates doesn't count.
How dare you? At least when I fucking play stuff, I play to fucking win, and I've never fucking lost.
Listen, that England team, the reason they went out was because of the manager. It's totally on. I'll say this about other England teams when I watch them play, like the Gareth Southgate teams that you had. They bottled it. They completely bottled.
Most of them are the same players who are playing now, apart from a few.
No, Bellingham's new. Saka's new. You have a lot of new players. I mean, you have Harry Kane, but I mean,
they took the fucking goal scorer off, didn't they?
That's not their fault. That's complete management fault.
No,
management fault.
Management, yes, I blame that. But if you can't fucking get your shit together on the pitch, because they
did get their shit together. It was a management. Listen, the England's defense wasn't the best defense in the world. It was actually very leaky. And you think you're going to go? They've leaked in goals the whole tournament, and you expect to go 1-0 for 20 minutes without conceding a goal. The minute he went to 6, after the hydration break, when he had them all together.
Break?
Yeah, the advertise, which that's another one for the death of FIFA.
Yeah.
That's another one of my debts coming up.
How long was the
But
fucking halftime thing on the World Cup final? 'Cause
that's
they said,
another reason we'll get to that.
Was it dropped down to 17 minutes?
We'll get to that. But
Okay.
the thing is, when Tuchel had them after the water break, they all went defensive because that's what he wanted them to do, right? And at the end of the day, you do what the manager tells you to do.
No.
So, yeah, you do.
The
You
captain
do.
should have said, "Hang on, you knobhead. We do that, we will leak a goal straight away because the other team will
the minute he went defensive in the first 3 minutes, Argentina had 5 shots on goal.
Yeah, I saw the statistics on the screen.
And the thing is, when that happened, that's when Tuchel should have changed it and said, "Well, fuck, we're getting." It's only a matter of time before they score because Pickford had to pull off 3 great saves, and then 2 other balls. One ball hit the post, and the other ball went wide. I mean, he after seeing that after the first few minutes, that's when he should, and he didn't. He kept the same thing, and when they got the first goal, he didn't change his formation. Then they got the second goal straight after.
Yeah.
And the thing is, here's another death: the death of Argentina. I mean, they should never have got as far as they did. They were bullies. They were disgraceful in the final as well. And even after the final whistle went, one of them threw a punch at a Spanish player. So, I mean, he got a red card after the game was over.
Oh, that's good then. that makes a lot of difference.
You had Messi on the field trying to get Cucurella sent off because he said he covered his mouth when he was talking to him, and he actually really didn't. So you had Messi doing that, and then you had, when Messi was given free kicks, you see him run the ball up another 4 or 5 feet trying to get away with a little more distance. That Argentina was the fouling, the amount of fouls that they did. Absolute disgraceful. They were disgraceful against England, and they were disgraceful the whole fucking tournament. And the only reason that the final was as bad as it was because they were outplayed. They had no shots on goal until the second half of extra time, right? And the reason they had no shots on goal and the reason they had no goal attempts is because they were shockingly fucking bad the whole tournament. And the problem with what it was is the competition was rigged for them to get as far as they could because they played nobody
down your route, Rossy.
They played nobody of significance in their bracket until they hit England, right? And even Cape Verde nearly knocked them out. The only reason they got past Cape Verde is because of an own goal. So it's the amount of shit they got away with the whole tournament is unbelievable. In the lead up to the first goal that England conceded against them, Messi actually stood on the defender's foot. Now in the Egyptian game, right? Egypt grabbed the ball from their own half, from their own goal, from their own where their goal was, grabbed the ball, ran all the way up the field, 2 or 3 passes in the back of the net. Then VAR interfered and said there was a foul right down by the other end of the field. And I'm saying, well, you're counting that, but the thing is that the guy had to run the ball from that position all the way up to the field, and no Argentina player tackled him. That's not his fault. You know what I mean? And they disallowed that goal. But for Messi, he stands on the English defender's foot and they let it away. And that's only like 10 seconds before they score.
Good.
And they get away with it. So it's an absolute disgrace. FIFA is an absolute disgrace. And I think I think they should do away with seeding. What they do is they seed the teams so that the big teams have a go through to the knockout stages, and then that's when you have your fun. You have the likes of Germany and get knocked out, and Holland get knocked out, the Netherlands get knocked out in the early stage. They're kind of shocking results. But Brazil, you know, these are teams that are former shadow of their old selves. But it's absolutely disgraceful the way the bracket was done. And it was the same that's why you had such a terrible final. I mean, I enjoyed it because it was only a matter of time before Spain were going to score. Like, they were all over them. Like, Argentina couldn't get out of their own half. Yeah. But in the Euros, you had the same thing. England had an easy run to that final. And then when they got to the final, they choked against Italy. Right? So you had the same thing, and it's because they seed the teams. They need to stop doing that. That needs to go. But that was the death of Argentina, and I'm glad that Messi didn't win the Golden Boot. I'm glad that he didn't win the Player of the Tournament, and I'm glad they didn't fucking win because they're just horrible, horrible, filthy bastards. Right? Now, my third death, they were filthy. Football won. The other day in the final, the fact that Spain won shows that football won the beautiful game because it was a death by 1,000 cuts. They were so good against Argentina. Just that if Spain had a striker, that game would have been 3-0 by the first hydration break.
Wow. on, what the
Right.
fuck? What language is that?
What do you mean?
3-0 at football. Who the fuck says that? You fucking Americans.
3-0.
3-0.
Oh, hey, when you say that's not the only thing that fucking annoys me. It's when they say stuff like, "Oh, he's offsides." No, he's offside. It's like when they say Legos instead of Lego.
Oh, God,
like he's offsides, and then they say stuff. Well, he's gonna make this play. Make this play. What the fuck make a play? What the hell? That shit drives me nuts. At least when they have the English commentators on, they're a lot more fun.
Yeah.
They have a couple of English commentators that are really good over here. They're all ex-players as well.
Actually do the commentating for American TV?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, they have 3 or 4 of them that are really good.
Yeah.
What was I going to say to you? Yeah, and here's the death of FIFA, right?
Yeah.
So the reason they put the hydration breaks in, this is their excuse. They had hydration breaks in Qatar and they had hydration breaks in South Africa because the heat is too much, right? Yeah. So that's the reason they did it. But now it's going to become a regular thing. And I understand the reason why if you're playing in 110 degree heat, I get it. If you're playing in a stadium that is temperature controlled, they still have to do the hydration breaks. And the reason is because if you give one coach and one team an advantage in a game, that during a hydration break you can talk to his players, you have to do that throughout the whole tournament, right? For the sake of fairness. So that's why they do it. Now, here's why it's going to become a thing, right? They're going to split the whole games at the quarters now. Is the next World Cup, 2030, you know where it's being held?
Probably North Korea.
They're going to have 3 games just to kick off because it's a 100-year anniversary. So they'll have single games, one in Argentina, one in Paraguay, and Uruguay. Now that's going to be during the summer, right, where it's going to be over 100 degrees heat. So they're going to have hydration breaks, right? And then the regular tournament is in Portugal and Spain during the summer, so they're going to have hydration breaks.
Well, right? Sorry, what them first 3 games for then? Is that actually World Cup games or some sort of weird thing?
No, they're World Cup games. They're opening. That's how they're opening to celebrate the 100 years of FIFA. Right now, and then the regular tournament will be in Spain and Portugal, played during the summer. So they're going to have hydration breaks, right? Which is an excuse to show advertising, right?
Yeah.
Now, 2034. Where's the World Cup in 2034?
Fuck knows.
Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they're going to have hydration breaks, and now they've done something that's unheard of. They had a halftime show. They Americanized it with like the Super Bowl halftime show. So they had Madonna come out with Fat Ronaldinho and Fat Ronaldo and Ronaldinho. It was a terrible halftime show, right? The only good thing about it was the Muppets.
So what they're going to have in Saudi? Are they going to fucking execute loads of fucking unfaithful women in the middle of the stadium?
No, it's Pride Day, so they're going to probably execute all the alphabet people.
Plus, by then
they're going to build this big, huge scaffold and throw them off it.
I was going to say we might as well go full annoy people. Won't by then the great Muslim Christian war have happened between all the Africans who are very religiously Christian, apart from the ones who've been forced into being Muslims? Won't the Great War have happened and we'll all be dead by nuclear fucking weapons? What do you think, Mr. Ross?
So, I mean, that the hydration breaks are going to stay, number one.
From hydration breaks to
killing Muslims.
Why don't they have
killing Christians?
The Crusades 2.0.
You know, people get those caps where they've got 2 cans on top and they've got a straw going into their mouth, their tube.
Mm-hmm.
Why do the footballers wear them? They can just be hydrated as they're running around and have an advertisement on top of their head.
Yeah.
Because apparently heading's making them get brain damage. So
the referees are starting to look more and more like RoboCop or Terminator.
With their camera, yeah. They should examine those cameras after the match and go, right, you fucking were looking right at that foul. You're not the fucking ref anymore. You're not in the top bracket. You're going down to fucking Hartlepool division shit. That's what you're going to be doing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's yeah. So the halftime show, I guarantee in the next World Cup there will be a halftime show at the final.
Lovely.
Mm.
So that's
What do
the
you think
death.
it's gonna
That's
be?
the death of football.
Ah, I know what
They
they could
already
do. They
had
could
some
have
death of FIFA.
Rossy. You could do the halftime show. Get your lovely big shirt on, your colourful shirt, and read to the children because that's the future of football, isn't it? The children. You could read one of Rebellion's fucking Roy the Rovers.
Yeah. Oh my God! No,
I
'cause
can
it's
see
a
it
Rob,
now.
It's a Rob
I can
Williams
see him with his
story.
disco ball hat on.
Oh, you haven't seen the silver sequined sport jacket to go with it.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll just go out and what they need is a mascot. I'll go out in the squirrel costume and
There you go. The
prance
squirrel for the
around
mascot for.
and just nibble all the footballers' nuts.
Oh wow! It writes itself.
I know. Oh dear.
So that's my 3 deaths. That's my. You know what? It actually was a very. After all the complaints in the ring, it was a fun World Cup. You had a lot of shocks and upsets, and you had some great games. I mean, the third place game is it's a nothing game, and yet it was one of the greatest games. Huh?
They could let loose. There was no pressure on them.
Yeah, there was no pressure
They
on
didn't
them,
want
so
to be there for a start.
Yeah. So the fact that France played their A team and England played their B squad starting off, I mean that's incredible. That was a great game. It's like you said, there was absolutely no pressure on the players.
Yeah.
So
anyway, before we continue, gentlemen, the official this is where I've just looked and made sure it's on their YouTube page. Marvel Entertainment have released the Avengers Doomsday trailer. So I think we should watch that. It's 2 minutes 25 before we continue because it's already got within an hour 500,000 likes.
Have they been ratioed because it sucks?
I don't see the down things because I haven't bothered to put that thing on the computer. But if you've got 500,000 likes in an hour, it must be good.
Okay,
so I'm going to watch it now. So I'm going to be quiet for 2.5 minutes.
Rossy's not going to watch it because it'll just bump him off.
I know.
Somehow
there's Patrick in his wheelchair.
Yeah, Xavier School looks like it's all blown to bits. Or Patrick Stewart, I'm really old.
Doom standing up.
I'm going to finish before you guys do.
Oh God, he's watching it fucking double.
There he is. Where's Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion? There's the Tin Man. Oh, I mean, that's Doom.
Oh, they've all met each other. Come on, Phil, be hard as fuck.
There's Timu Reed Richards.
Yep.
When are you watching them? I'm seeing like the Black Panther people.
Then you have the Inhumans, I think. I think the Inhumans show up.
Oh, you guys are watching something else.
There's Namor. Where's Cap? He's not in there yet. Hold on, there's Thor. Well, he's not Fat Thor anymore. Yay. There's Steve Rogers. He's back.
Oh! Oh my God, I've got to say, that works well for the fans.
Yep. It's got everything in there, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, Wankfest. I can see this is how you do it properly.
Oh, the bit at the end with the hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
you get fans excited.
You do a trailer.
Yep, that's how you get fans excited.
There was something in there, I'm going to have to go back to it. There was something in there where they look like giants behind somebody.
I think they're the Eternals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like the complete opposite of the Rogue Trooper trailer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is it Cyclops, the one with the eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's some massive feet behind him walking as he's blasting above the viewer.
Like a Sentinel.
Yeah. That looks pretty good. Did you watch it, Rossy?
Yes, in 1.5. Because I accidentally Yeah, because I accidentally watched the teaser trailer that just shows the Wakandans and
Yeah, but
Fantastic
you
Four.
don't get the talk over properly in Thor's voice telling you like we need a miracle and all that, and then fucking the handover.
Like I can't, because I'm
He
watching
can't
on the
do it.
phone.
It'll knock him off.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
right.
I can only I can kind of listen. I'll rewatch it again later.
Yeah.
You know, I may or may not see it because fuck Marvel at this point.
Oh,
So
fucking hell.
Yeah,
I
you're not
don't.
supposed to be watching any more Marvel movies, Rossy.
That's right. You're going to miss
Yeah.
out on that one, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I didn't. I may or may not watch it.
No, you can't watch it, Rossy. You said you were done.
That's
Well,
right.
I just won't pay for it.
December as well, Christmas
Well,
movie.
whether I watch it or not doesn't affect Marvel. Whether I pay for it or not does. So, yeah. But I mean, it's like okay. I mean, the images are there. The images were there for even the Eternals and a couple of the other ones. But it's just like then you watch the whole thing and it's like Jesus Christ. Because I don't care about spoilers. The spoiler thing dropped, and Film Threat guys were reading it. It sounds like it's a mess. Like this is.
Well, they have so many characters.
They squeezed a shit ton of, or at least they pulled a full moon and pulled enough images together to make a really cool trailer. But then you have to sit through the rest of the movie, and even there they got. When I saw the trailer for the Phantom Menace, all my friends were like excited. Ooh, did you see the armies lined up? And we're going to see a Star Wars and blah, 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 blah. And I said, yeah, but then there's like all that weird slapstick stuff, not knowing what Jar Jar was or what his name was. I was like, there's all that slapstick stuff and kiddie stuff in there too. And there's like, oh, well, that's just to get kids to come see it. And it's like, then you see the movie and it's like, oh, that's a big part of the movie. And so,
the funniest experience I had with that is that I was working at Fox at the time, and we all got special tickets like 3 weeks before the movie got released, right? And everybody went to the theater. We're all lined up outside. People had back in the day when you had boom boxes and they were playing the Star Wars soundtrack, and a couple of guys had lightsabers, and it's all gay. Went in, right? Lights went down. The movie came on. Like the whole Fox fanfare, everybody cheered, and then 2 hours later, people left the cinema going, "What the fuck was that?" Their heads were down. They're like, "Oh, completely dejected." And like a couple of guys going, "I'm gonna have to see it again to make sure that what I saw wasn't what I saw," kind of thing. No, what you saw was a steaming fucking turd.
Well, to change the subject. So on this trailer, well, not completely change the subject. So even on this trailer, there's like shots of characters standing around talking. Now, I know that they're going for the fan wank thing where it's like, oh, wow, they're all in the same room together for the first time talking. But it's like, going by the spoiler thing, which I will not spoil for anyone who hasn't heard it, it's so convoluted and complicated. You need that. You need them to stand around and talk like an old-timey 1950s thing where the scientist says the moon goes around the earth, and this causes gravity.
People don't care though.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's been like 10 years of shitty ass movies from Marvel, so I don't know how.
We know why that was.
Well, I'm going to the place where all the shills are going to be like, woo, for everything. So,
well, that's why they have to bring back the original guys.
Right.
Because they were sinking quick with all the bullshit they came out with.
Right, and at least 150 million of the budget's going to go towards de-aging everybody, so they don't look like they're in their mid-50s. So, or Patrick Stewart's like fucking 90 or something like that.
Yeah, but he's in a wheelchair, so he's allowed to be old.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And he's always looked old. Once he became captain fucking of the Enterprise, he was old then.
Yeah. Although it's funny because like with him and even like the old crew, I remember when I watched Star Trek: The Motion Picture in the theater, I was like, man, they all look so old. And it's like, yeah, that was, 50 years ago now almost? And it's like, gee, you see them now, and the ones that are still alive, it's like, oh, they're really old. Or just before they died, they were like, oh my God.
I think Shatner's in his 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He looks great.
For 90.
Yeah. He looks great for 90.
Yeah, that baby blood does the stuff.
It might have been all the alcohol he consumed during his down and out days.
He's just all pickled.
Yeah. He's preserved.
Yeah.
Okay, John, do you want to do the prog?
Let's drop.
Pew, pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grub.
We have cover art by David Roach and colors by Emily Roach. Must be his daughter or his wife or something. Probably his daughter. But yeah, it's very boring cover. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, it did nothing for me. It's not eye-catching. It's very subdued, especially with the. You would think that the noose would pop out of the out of the darkness, but it doesn't. And there's no expression of shock or anything on her hair. So even if you knew what was going on in the story, and you read, you would think, why is she not looking scared with that horned, scully thing behind her? Not vibrant enough. So it's a nice image, but does nothing for me.
I'm gonna put a word balloon on there with the skeleton speaking, and it's gonna go, Gotla gear. Yeah. What do you think of that cover, Rossy?
Normally, I'm an advocate for the big faces ones because you can see what's going on when you're walking past the newsstand or the news rack or whatever. For that, it's like okay, but it's still kind of boring. And also it's kind of deceptive because the scene that this illustrates from the story doesn't really play like that, which is fair. I mean, a lot of covers don't. A lot of covers kind of stretch what that scene actually is in the story.
My favorite is when Marvel do a cover and we'll have a big villain on the cover, right? Yeah, you're going to your doom.
Is it the last page?
Yeah, and then it's the last page the villain shows. He's not in the whole thing until the very last page. They still do that shit, Marvel.
Well, like in the first 6 issues of Star Wars, it's like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader having a lightsaber duel while the Death Star attacks going on in the background, and it's like, I don't remember that scene from the movie. I don't remember that scene until like the 3rd movie. How did they know? So there's this boring, placid cover, and then you go to the Nerve Center. I've started noticing like the little icons, thumbnails that they put in the Nerve Center. It's like, here's a picture of a younger woman with an old man, and they're looking kind of, I guess, upset about something. And then here's an old woman with a younger woman, and they look upset about something. And then, oh shit!
And there's Rossy's future wife.
There's what? What?
And then there's a man and a woman, and then there's an old woman and a teenager.
Right, doing utak.
Yeah.
But then there's that. Yeah, there's one. The boring placid cover has that boring placid icon where the characters aren't even like looking at you. They got their backs to you, and they're in silhouette, looking at something that doesn't make sense until you read.
Which you're told never to do. Never have your hero with the back to the camera when you're doing a shot like that.
Right. So I get that they were probably looking through the story for the one where you could see the character's faces the best, but it says a lot that the panels that show the characters' faces the best are also like these placid, boring thing. Because like last week, it was just like women. Well, even this one is like, 2 out of 3 are female characters. So it's like, okay, good luck. I hope the sales have been steadily climbing since you stopped doing the Regine ones, and you got all these like female characters that you're trying to push. Because Lord knows there isn't a female character comics out now. So
I love that after Carlos passed away, they said they weren't going to do any more Strontium Nog stories, and then he keeps on popping up.
Yeah.
In specials. But
it was funny because I was thinking about my train of thought was I was kind of remembering back when Comic-Con was cool, and there was one where I ran into Robbie Morrison, Colin McNeil, and I was like the only one who knew who they were. So we kind of like palled around for preview night and the next day. And I was like, yeah, why isn't there like more Colin McNeil in the Prog? And it's like, well, there you go. Wish fulfilled. But it's like, not like this, not like, and then it's like, it's either going to be this or it's going to be another Rob Williams story, or maybe a Mickey O'Carroll story. But anyway.
All right. Okay, Judge Rico, The Omelette, Part 9, Finders, Part 3.
Oh dear.
By Ken, hold on. Ken Neiman, Tom Tully, Gordon Rennie on script, Jake Lynch, Emily Roach, again she pops up, and Annie Parkhouse. Go ahead.
Fargo and Locke are approached by a street gang, but before any trouble kicks off, Jeremiah steps in and takes 2 slugs to the chest, but just shakes it off. As he grabs the perp who took the shot, and before he can kill him, Fargo tells him to let him go, whilst pointing his sidearm at him. The perps run away, and Jeremy tastes the spilt blood on the floor. And hey presto, Locke is shown the way to find Dredd. Meanwhile, Giant does the Dredd Anderson image from the end of the film and is overwhelmed with calls on his radio, so he tells Control to hold all comms. He then gets an incoming call from an unknown origin, how the fuck, which tries to force him to remember Dredd, but to no avail, so the voice tells him that the name no one can remember is Judge Joe Dredd, and if that name isn't Quasimodo, then come meet him. And as this goes on, that's ring a bell, Mr. Ross. As this goes on, Fargo, Locke, and Jeremiah head towards Alien Town, where this whole shit show might have begun. Now, I've got to say, before we continue, if Jeremiah can't be seemingly killed with 2 shots from the chest, how is Fargo going to threaten him with his sidearm? Fucking hell.
I like how he just appears out of nowhere, like, pop!
Yeah.
To get in between Fargo and the kid.
Well, you don't know, because there might have been something in the magazine that built them up past, because
they're not allowed to do that, they said.
I don't. Oh, really?
There's supposedly no reference to this in the Meg and the Meg to this, to make it so you don't have to buy the other one.
There actually is.
Is there?
McBain, yeah, I think in the McBain Fargo thing, I think this dude is seen in the background or something.
Fucking typical. Farg's a liar.
No. You are right, Flint. But it also doesn't make any. It really doesn't make any difference. It's just like, oh, there he is, kind of thing. Having said that, I did read the Judge Rico story in the latest magazine, and they do kind of if the explanation that's building up there is the explanation for all of this, it's really freaking stupid. So there's this whole like Sons of Judd. It's like the psychic Judd genetically engineered kids that are screaming and then from another dimension and blah 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 and ghosts, and I'm like, man, if that's what all this is coming from, holy crap.
I think it has something to do with, remember the island, the planet in Judge Child-Quest where he went to, where he had that Sagbelly the Toad. What was the name of the Murdy Oppressor, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you something to do like Murdy Oppressor's sister decides to take revenge on Judge Dredd. Something like that.
Let's pick the most obscure reference that only somebody who's been reading it for almost 50 years would remember, and make it like the linchpin for the biggest story. And trying so hard to get new readers, and it's like new readers are not going to know what that's all about. And you're going to try to you're trying to sell them a new Prog, and then you're trying to sell them a reprint of an old story so they'll understand the story of the new Prog, instead of just coming up with something that truly a new reader could jump on with, instead of this engineered Regine thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's terrible. I do like the colorist, what Emily Roach has done here on the colors, especially when the psychic is saying Gruddy's not wrong. That like outpouring of the color on her face there, like the psychic blast or whatever. I love the image of Giant on the with the white background, and the very last page, the very last panel of him going towards Alien Town. I love that too. So I don't know if Alien Town has ever been portrayed like that, because that's looks nothing like something that belongs in Mega City 1. So Alien Town, I think in the Prog has never been, the architecture has never been, it's just like a slum part of Mega City 1.
For the most part, Chinatown, Little Tokyo, and Alvarez, all the immigrant towns we've got look exactly, except for like a single little street where the tchotchke shops are. They look exactly like the rest of the city. So
yeah,
it's like,
so it doesn't make sense for Alien Town to be something bizarre or out of place, because there's no way the judges would allow something like that.
right.
Yeah, so that doesn't make any sense. But it's Jake Lynch's art is fantastic.
Yeah, I like his little flying station wagon that he drew there on the last page. That's
Yeah,
cool.
well, and the guy with his hat out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll tell you what, that Judge Dredd magazine cover of the creature, the kaiju going on the rampage, is one of the worst magazine covers I've seen.
Going
Yeah.
back to the no, don't have your main character show their backs.
The
thing.
back, yeah, but the dog's expression is pretty funny.
I saw it on the shelf and it just didn't do anything to me. It just very weak and scratchy and
Yeah. I did laugh at
God.
the dog's face though.
So
Yeah.
I have a message for all of pop culture. Knock off the kaiju crap. It's like when I was a kid, Saturday afternoons, the only place you could see kaiju shit was Godzilla movies or Gamera movies or something from Japan, because kaiju's Japanese. And then like during the week, the cool kids knew to go to the UHF channel, like in the boonies with the weak signal, and you could watch Doctor Who, the Banana Split, Speed Racer, and Ultraman. You could see some kaiju there as well, but that was only if you were in the know and lived close enough to a weak local station. And now there's just, a fucking Godzilla comic every month, and Power
I think
Rangers
there's two.
every day.
I think there's 2 or 3 Godzilla comics.
Right. So it's like, whatever fucking mashup, there's literally a Sonic the Hedgehog meets Godzilla thing, and it's like, okay,
That's fun though.
I get the appeal, but it's just like you killed the kaiju thing. It's not special. It's just and seeing it in a comic books, like I said before, I like Jackie Chan. I love Michael Golden. Michael Golden did a Jackie Chan comic back in the day. That was when I realized you could draw Jackie Chan doing anything.
The Spartan X.
Yeah, you could draw Jackie Chan doing anything, and especially if you had a brilliant artist like Michael Golden doing it. But it doesn't matter because it's just like a drawing of him in some pose, something. The thrill of watching Jackie Chan is watching a human being risk his neck to do all these amazing stunts. And the same thing
in
with
his American movies.
Huh?
Not in his American movies.
Well, yeah, there was the first few gave you a little spoon feeding of it, but yeah.
Oh,
right.
You got to watch Police Story 2, Armor of God,
Project A.
Yep.
Double Dragon, or whatever. The one where he plays twins.
Wasn't he supposed to be drunk in one of those?
Yeah,
the Drunken Master or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were the good movies before he came to the US and got ruined.
Yeah, anything before Rumble in the Bronx, or well, no, Rumble in the Bronx is pretty good too, and then the spy one after was pretty good, and then after that, like the Rush Hour movies, they don't want to have them, overdo the what's his face.
Yeah,
Chris, what's his name?
Chris
one
Tucker.
Of the Chris's? Was it Chris Tucker?
Timu Ed Murphy.
Yeah.
Timu Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. So anyway, the kaiju stuff is just like way overplayed out. But again, this is the Power Rangers generation that's doing it. So it's like, okay.
Well, they had a Godzilla comic back in the 70s, didn't they?
Yeah, it was terrible. No,
Yeah,
you
well,
know
you
what,
had
though?
Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos with Godzilla.
Yeah, I believe Red Ronin was in that too.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay, Brink.
But you know what? It was terrible, but it was special because it was the only Godzilla comic, and it didn't last very long. So
Yeah,
that's why
it
you
lasted
remember
like
it
20
now.
issues.
Yeah, but you don't remember. I mean, you remember it. There was a lot of comics that lasted 20 issues you don't remember, but you remember that one because it was like that was the only Godzilla comic. It wasn't like one of 3 that came out,
Right.
and then they teamed them up with like, Spider Ham or something.
Yeah. All right, Brink, The Call of the Void, Part 20, Don Abnett, IJ Colbert, and Simon Boland.
So this is another one that's, I'm just going to do big strokes. So Bridget Curtis is going over the files, and the old lady shows up at her apartment, not so much to apologize, but to tell her that she agrees with her that the sect thing seems to be like a way of humans to cope with all the crazy shit that's been going on, and it's just making people crazy, and they want to, like anybody who's scared of something, they want to move away and migrate, but the big corporations like having a captive population dependent on them, so they don't want them to migrate. And Bridget's like, she starts quoting like people who sounded crazy back in the day with their sect conspiracy theories, but just like all of us, 9 months later it proved to be right. And then let's see, then she tells her a story about her crazy aunt who was like over 100 years ago was working for the FBI and was into investigating crazy cult stuff. And so she gives Bridget a little flash drive that's got like all of her crazy aunt's information on it. They have some coffee, and then they get a call that somebody's found something, so they leave.
Yeah, it's okay. The only issue I have with it is the artwork in the last page, the way the old lady's holding a cup. It's just weird from panel to panel.
Oh.
Okay. And she does leave her notes on the table for other people to come along and read or take.
Oh, yeah, I wondered why that was like the cliffhanger, but okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's pretty good though.
What? It's the best.
I
part
go on
20.
and say it.
Is it part 20?
20, yeah.
Wow. And there's like no, I mean, it feels like since the last couple, it feels like they're ramping up to something, but
then they slowed everything right down again.
Well, no, I mean, this is kind of like a interlude episode, but it's which is fine. I mean, if you're ramping up to something and you put the interlude in, it's fine. But it's like, how much is it going to go? Is it going to go to 30 chapters? Is it going to how much longer is this arc going to go on?
Rossy, have you read Don Abnett's Flash Gordon yet?
No.
I'll have to read that.
I've got his Zorro too. That one. I think there was one of them that I downloaded and kind of flipped through and just deleted without reading it, but I don't think that was his.
You know that Don Abnett has written so much stuff now. He actually wrote Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when the movie came out, the comic book, the UK comic book.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
wow.
He wrote the real Ghostbusters as well.
Yeah, I mean that guy's a machine.
He's been around for a long time.
Yeah. So what a career, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, John?
Exactly as we jokingly say, the best part 20 in the Prog. The story, until we get something that's major, we sort of be just, it's like it's the death of 1,000 fucking drips in it, sort of the death of 1,000 cuts. Sorry,
Yeah.
It's just a little bit.
This is the Spanish strip.
That's
of the
it.
Prog, while the Dread is the Argentina strip.
That's it.
Rico of the
Prog.
Is the dirty, horrible bastards.
And after you mentioned it last week,
Dirty, filthy bastards.
that's right. We get two panels where her badge is full of the lettering on the first page, and then it all disappears again. I think if we didn't have the lettering in the first two, it wouldn't be so jarring. But because we had them in the first two and they're quite visible, the first page, sorry, it jumps out more. But apart from that, enjoyable stuff. Nice. I do like the way you told me many moons ago to make somebody look young in a comic or a cartoon. Use less lines, and then obviously the more lines you look haggard, and that's exactly how it's shown here. Very cleverly done.
They also done really something very clever with
the shading,
with the shading, but also with Curtis's character as well. They put a little bag underneath her eyes to show that she's tired from going through all the files.
Yeah.
So that was pretty clever from I&J Colbard.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Okay, The Fall of Dead World, Justice Part 5, Keck W, Dave Kendall, Simon Boland.
Okay, so there's a little flashback to when the Evil Sisters made Sidney DeEth into Judge DeEth. And then, like now, Judge DeEth pulls out Judge Fire's heart. They're at the same place where the transformation had taken place, and now it seems to be their base of operations. Judge Mortis reports that the city's in ruins, blah, 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 blah. But then they have detected Judge Fear fighting Eva Eastwood, and then they cut to that in real time. Judge Fairfax shows up and guns down Judge Fear. She fights him with a day stick. She's going to go after him with a boot knife. He goes after him with his Gatling gun or whatever, and then the ghosty Judge Fear flies away. She gets a little explanation that they're from another universe. And then they get like no relief because the Judge Mortis spaceship plane comes and starts. John, is the term I'm looking for strafing them?
Yes.
All right.
But normally you hit people when you strafe them.
From it's death from above, but no death actually.
I thought you'd like the next Prog blurb, Rossy. Mortal Kombat.
Yes, but they didn't spell it right.
No.
Now on your Digitales, on the penultimate page, bottom middle panel.
Yes, it's missing.
Yours
is missing too.
Yeah, but maybe it's one of those things like they do in the manga where it's just like 5 dots to indicate he's.
Well, there's nothing in there.
It's sort of a pause in speech and not so much like you couldn't. Yeah.
Come on, you're talking about rebellion.
I'm trying to.
If anybody's gonna fuck it up, they're gonna fuck it up.
I try to give them.
I know.
So
I thought the same thing, and then I thought the same thing. Oh, maybe it's just that like a last kind of whisper before it goes away, and then I'm thinking, nah, they messed up because it's rebellion. You can't really give them an inch.
No, I love the artwork in this. Fire is fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed when Fear gets all the shots in him, and then when Eastwood.
Hold on, John. If you zoom in on that panel, there's actually words.
Zoom in. Oh, hang on a second. Here we go.
Yeah. It says Gotla gear.
Yeah, well done.
ECBT
oh my goodness! All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So
I'm in a weird mood today.
So you get on the second and third page where the shots just blast through Fear. Now I wondered why Eastwood put the dagger in front of her eyes when you just shut your eyes. Sorry, the boot knife. But it was a visually interesting stance. But the imagery all over is brilliant, and the lighting from Fire. And then you get on the final bit. In fact, quite a lot of rapid fires going through characters, isn't it? Mainly Fear. But yeah, I think the final bit when they're getting strafed, those rounds never go down in such a lovely pattern. They are everywhere. So they would be taken out. I mean, we've all seen fucking videos from real shit that's gone down from the pilots. It annoys me because it annoys me in films when they're running down a corridor and the person fires and follows them. And I'm just like, well, why don't you just fucking fire where they're running to and then they'll get hit as they run into the wall of lead? Don't follow the fuckers. But, you know what I mean? Some people just can't write reality. But I enjoyed everything about it apart from the few little nitpicks I did. It didn't ruin the story. The artwork's fantastic. We're really ramping up the action. It seems as though, will it end in this specific story? Will we get the final, which we've wondered? Will the enemy or will the judges, the true heroes, our little group, will they be able to win? And it all stops. Who knows? But it's been fucking an interesting and exciting alternate sort of universe ride along the way.
It's hard to believe this is the same writer as Nightmare New York, but there is a funny bit in it when Death is talking to Mortis, and he said, "Yes, I took refuge in my own father's corpse." That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I did like that the knife, when it went into Fear's face, it turned cold, like ice. That was a pretty nice touch. Overall, it's excellent. I have a friend, James Seville, who actually Jim, I call him, and he's writing the Marty Devine supernatural detective story for White Heat 4 that I'm working on. But he was a big 2008 fan. He loved John Wagner and Pat Mills, so he'll pick up the Prog hoping to see Wagner's story or a Pat Mills story in there. If it doesn't have it, you put it back. But he flicked through it. I talked to him on Friday, and he flicked through it, and he said that he loves Dave Kendall's artwork. He said that he hates all the other artwork in the Prog. He thinks it's all amateurish and terrible. But Jim's a very harsh judge, worse than us. Yeah. But he looked at Kendall's artwork, and he said, "Man, that guy is really, really good. Like really fantastic." And he is. Dave Kendall is just, and you can see if you look at the first few episodes of Dead World, from way back when it first started to now, how much he's grown as an artist. He's just incredible.
I remember it being confusing and hard to tell what was going on sometimes, and now it's pretty
clear,
straightforward. Yeah, and of all the strips, like if you go to an American comic book convention, you sit in on a Judge Dredd panel or whatever, a lot of the fans are metalheads who gravitated towards the Dark Judges, or especially Judge Death. Like that's the one that they remember. So
it's like he's punk rock Rossy.
Well, no, he's metal. If Rebellion was paying attention, this would be the story that they try to sell to the American audiences. Like you kind of remember Judge Dredd from the movies, but like if your favorite part is Judge Death, and we haven't done that in the movie yet or whatever, this is like all Judge Death all the time, and not even like the silly Billy stuff like when he was traveling across America or the other stuff. It's like this is just the most metal Judge Death of all the Judge Deaths. And you really don't have to know like the 40 other years of lore, like in the Omelet. You don't have to know 40 years of lore, or unlike the Omelet, you don't need to know all that backstory to enjoy this one. There's Easter eggs. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. If you don't, they're all new characters. So
well, it is called the Fall of Dead World, so you're going to see Dead World eventually fall. So we'll look forward to that. But yeah, like everything you said, really good stuff.
Maybe the heroes will go off into space and find a new home somewhere else.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I spoiled it.
I think, the strip is like 10 years old.
Yeah, everything in this fucking comic's old.
I think Brink might be a little bit older, but the Fall of Dead World, I think, started like in 2016.
Oh, I've got to interrupt, gentlemen. We're on Dead World, so it's apt. We've got a famous name who's died. It's breaking now. And I'd love it if he wasn't dead.
Kevin Keegan.
It's Kevin Keegan. It's 75.
Oh wow, you cancer, right?
I presume so. I'm just looking through now. Yep, cancer. I don't know why they always say a battle with cancer. It's like, what? So you decided I'll let cancer win? You don't battle something. It's something you've fucking got. You know what I mean? You don't battle anything else, do you? Oh, he had pneumonia, but he didn't battle it hard enough. He was obviously he retreated. Fucking hell! You just have something horrible. Some people, you're fucking lucky. Some people are not lucky. It's just fucking the way life is. It's shit for many people.
I wonder you. I wonder if the honey monster will show up at his funeral.
Oh yeah. Tell him about the honey, mummy.
You know, they had a whole series of characters. There wasn't just Honey Monster. There was a couple of others as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had he had a little brother or something, and a sister. The Honey Monsters. Man, don't you miss that kind of stuff on UK TV now?
Well, yeah, but we can't have things like that because they're funny.
Well, Kevin Keegan will always be remembered for his famous rant where he lost his bottle and Man United overtook him. Fergie with his team overtook him and won the league.
17 points.
Yeah, blew it. He blew it.
I mean, there we are, Ross. I don't even care about football, but some things. It was the biggest thing at the time. A 17-point lead on the final sort of run into the season. And he did that spiel, which was about, I don't know, a couple of minutes long. I'd love it if the other teams fucking.
And it was all based on false information. It was all based on fake news, and he fell for it.
Yeah.
Poor old Kev. Great player, fantastic player.
Yeah. Lovely perm.
Back in the day. Yeah, it's lovely perm. Yeah, I think he did the Brute ads. He did the Brute ads as well with Henry Cooper.
Henry Cooper. You know what they should do? They should make. Oh, fuck me, this is hilarious. All footballers should start the season with the perm as an honorary thing for them.
Well, it could be like Movember, where they all wear moustaches in November.
Oh, dear.
I think all the Liverpool players should have a perm.
And a tash.
And his tash, yeah. And they should all wear the tracksuits, the neon tracksuits. All right, calm down. Great player, and he made Newcastle the way Newcastle are now. If it wasn't for Kevin Keegan, the Toon Army wouldn't be as big as it is, because he took that team from nowhere and built up a huge fan base. And he did have that team playing exciting football at the time. So if it wasn't for Kevin Keegan, you wouldn't have Newcastle today.
I think with the if they built 120,000 seater stadium or 120,000 stadium, it would fill every week. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that the rabid fandom up there. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just
he's the one that built it. It was the team that it was the club that Keegan built.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. One of the great ones.
All
right. Talking about a shame. Nightmare Book 2, New York, Part 4, Kick W, David Roach, Jim Boswell, and Annie Parkhouse.
Yeah, I've been doing this for over 10 years, but I'm still the new guy who gets these kind of stories. So they were outside that Emporium of the Weird, basically the Ripley's Museum, believe it or not, museum. And she's got this human skin that's got a sigil from a magician. And so just like in Harry Potter, they go through the walls. And oh my gosh, it's like MC Escher land in there, and stairs and doors and bendy buildings. And they see some, looks like Native American art that's got what could be an alien on it. And then there's the image that you see from the cover with the hanging skeleton with the, you know what, maybe, do you think this could be like Hellboy skeleton or something like that? He's got
no, it's probably tied into the Red Seas, and no, actually that was in Engine. It's probably tied into that. What was the one he did with the worms?
We're getting to that.
The Order.
We're getting to that because they
go on, sorry.
So they go into the trapdoor, and then they're like in the Ripley's museum thing.
That trap
oh my God! It's the helmet from the Order. It's Reifenstahl.
Oh my God! It is.
Yep.
Good spot, Rossy.
Yep. And then they actually, like, up until a point, I like the Order. So, and then they're looking at some of the exhibits, and they make a big deal about this with desiccated mermaid on display. Previously the guy in the fur-collared pimp coat had said
The
that
Chippendale.
the Chippendale guy who bursts into flame. Oh yeah, and he gets all like hot when they're holding hands. So he had said that this is where they had tortured people and placed bets and all that. And then, hey, it's like all the people. One of the guys that he had burned comes in, hits him with the stick, and she's not ethereal, she's solid. So the big Tor Johnson golem guy, he can grab onto her, and then so there's a guy who's.
I would totally cast Tor Johnson as him.
So and everything comes back to Ed Wood and Steve's world. So there's this guy whose dialogue is phonetically written out in German, and he talks about Dusseldorf and uses the German word for prostitute. So I'm going to guess he's German, and he's got this pointy pull cue looking cane that he's pointing at her. So I have a feeling he might be like some character I'm supposed to know who it is, but my history sucks because I'm an American, and there you go.
Why do you need so many people to break into the place when he has the golem?
I don't know. I forgot about the golem thing, but
and the top right hand panel, the guy that looks like the mummy, looks like he's holding a turkey drumstick from the Renaissance.
Well, yeah. To be honest, I actually forgot, because he's not in the initial crowd that's like storming in the room, and he's just like there grabbing at her. And if it hadn't been for like the thing on his forehead glowing, I just thought it would be some Tor Johnson looking thug.
You think it would be good if we went through and we blanked out all the word balloons and put in our own dialogue?
I don't think this is as bad as you think it is.
It is.
No,
it's
bland.
Yeah, I mean that's the worst thing about it. It feels like a 2000 AD kind of story, but it's like, the female protagonist is not that interesting. They added the sidekick. He's okay. They're a little more interesting. I think the artwork's pretty good, but like,
shouldn't the golem be fucking huge?
Yes, he shouldn't look like Tor Johnson, basically. But
he should be taller as well.
Yeah. So
this is Timu golem.
Yeah, it's just that 2018 now has all these like slow burn occult stories, and this is just one of them. That's the problem. So, but I mean, I liked, and Keck W, he writes very 2000 AD style stuff. The order felt like old timey 2000 AD until they started dumping in like all the old characters, and I don't think he knew how to end it. And I think they added like way too many. The cast got unwieldy at a certain point, but up to that point, it was I liked it. And even the stuff that I don't like in principle, where he's like taking over the John Smith characters, he did a pretty fair imitation of John Smith. And
yeah, but that's a problem. It's an imitation.
Right. It's kind of like, if you wanted to just, if there was, with all those stories that are dangling, if you just want to wind it up, wrap it up, and then put a bow on it and make the graphic novel, and then you're done, fine. But like with Indigo Prime, they kept coming back, and then it became like Keck W's characters and lore and all that, and it's convoluted and complicated, and there's no visceral thing to it, because it's just like so full of like it's just weird concepts that are hard to work up feelings about and stuff like that. So but overall, I mean, he's I'd say, pay him what he's worth, because he's like the old best. He's one of the better old timey. He's like Dan Abnett. He's like old timey 2000 AD thrill power writer. So with weird ideas and funny shit. So I like him.
What do you think, Ross? Rossy. What do you think, John?
Well, I like the bit about. I thank you. Now, I was a bit shocked by the third page when they're on the rope ladders going up. It looks nothing like the front cover, because that's the image, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what Rossy said. Actual scene does not happen inside.
That's right. But then he does these. I feel as though he then has a panel that he really wants to spend more time on every so often, which shows mainly on the female characters' faces. But to me, it's I don't know, it's a bit boring. It's like at the end, the final two panels. So you got the bloke. I mean, to me, the German looked more like a leprechaun type person in the background. And then he's sticking the narwhal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks too long for a narwhal's horn.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, we know that ain't going to happen by next week, and there's going to be another cock-a-doodie dirty birdie. And the Gollum's right hand looks as though it's in a fist position, not grabbing her. You know what I mean? I don't know. And like you said, the Gollum's are normally massive compared to this. He looks as though he's actually shorter than her, because she's obviously leaning backwards, and he's not really towering above her. I don't know. It's weird.
And
but,
Rossy, what religion does the Gollum belong to?
Go on,
If it ain't the Jews, it ain't the news.
You know, well, that's how it got in Prog. Maybe he's just grabbing like some fabric on her.
Yeah, but you show a bit of the fabric through their fist or something.
Maybe they couldn't get a good enough deal on enough clay to make the golem bigger.
Timu Gollum.
Yeah.
You know, that Dredd book, graphic novel Judge Dredd and To the Sea Return, why the hell didn't he use Henry Flint's artwork on the cover instead of Christian Ward's? Because Henry Flint draws the whole thing.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
Why wouldn't you use the same artist on the inside on the cover? Because I get you do that for a monthly comic book, right? Where you'll have my artwork, which is shitty, and then you put Alex Ronald on the cover to sell it, right? But what Henry Flint, he did the whole series of that Dredd strip. So why wouldn't you use him? And he's a fantastic artist. Why wouldn't you use?
I think they don't use him because it might not be the style that the golden market, even though they hate America, they might be looking at the front cover and go, I don't like that style. So they want to attract the Americans. So it's the hypocrisy of them, which is sad because Henry's a fucking god for us lot.
Yeah, which makes sense then, because Christian Ward has done some stuff over here.
Oh, has he?
This looks like American indie comic.
Right.
Style.
Yeah, Christian Ward has done, I think he's done some stuff for Distillery, hasn't he?
Oh, is that the Jock thing?
Is that the what thing?
Is that the Jock thing, Distillery?
Yeah, I think Jock did some stuff for them as well.
It was weirdly spelled one like DSTL. Yeah.
It's like they took out all the vowels.
Yeah, fucking terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well. I want to see what he did for... Yeah, he's done some Eisner. He's an Eisner winning artist. That's why.
Go.
Does it say what he got the Eisner for?
He's a multi-Eisner winning artist.
Hey, Flint,
Invisible Kingdom,
Odyssey
with Matt Fraction, Batman: City of Madness. Yeah, so he's done bits and pieces. He's done a couple of covers for 2000AD before, so it's probably exactly like you said, John, for the US market.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a pity, but
yeah. I mean, God, I'd love Henry Flint to draw some covers for me. That's the second time I mentioned that. I might get in touch with him. Anderson Side Division, The Void, Part 4, Liam Johnson, Rob Richardson, and Rob Steen on letters.
Anderson comes across a Jew called Lucas, who was the person calling her Apparently, he didn't know he had psychic abilities. Oh, and yet he's an orphan. Nash tells Anderson to hurry up, as that massive dog that she didn't kill might come back. But Kaz is going to look inside of Lucas's head. Once in, she sees a mouthful of teeth and is blasted back. But don't worry, she's okay. These nightmares that Lucas has are the same as Anderson's, and so she attempts to go inside his head again and stay there this time. Wow!
Oof.
Oh, Granderson.
Mm,
It's Granny Anderson.
Just
yeah.
had that out. It moves about as fast as an episode of Matlock, so I guess she is old.
The art on her face is very inconsistent throughout the strip.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the first page, her face on the kind of middle panel, and then in the last inset panel, her face looks. It's her nose as well. Her nose changes shape. If you look at the second page, on the bottom left-hand panel and on the right-hand panel, the profile looks wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like a boxer's nose on the right-hand panel.
Yeah, and then on the following page, you see the top panel, the second in from the right, her face is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's very inconsistent. I do like the artwork, but it's very inconsistent, and they do draw the judges like little old ladies.
Yeah. Well,
it's not suitable for an Anderson story. I think he's a good artist, but on something different. And the story's nonsensical.
Technically, they are old ladies, but it's it's not what you want to see in a comic.
No. What do you think, John?
Yeah, it's like, how is this sort of style going to move across into the horror that's happening in the Omelette? You know what I mean? I just don't. Again, it's like they filling the prog up with dread-related stuff, and that was always the magazines thing. So it just like, to me, it's like ever since they did that bloody Bachman Turner Overdrive 3-part of that all fell apart at the end. It's like they're trying to do something like that and go, look how clever we are.
And that had a real fan wank ending too. Get it out of us.
He lost 27 pints of blood and he kept going. You just think, well, this is when people say Dredd isn't a superhero. Well, he must be some sort of superhero to be able to have that much blood loss and still keep going all the time. You know what I mean? It's like when people say, this person doesn't understand 2008 has always been political. Yeah, but it's always been political from one side. You know what I mean? To slag off another side. They don't slag off the left. I'm trying to now remember.
Well, they had Blair 1. They had Blair 1 written by Alan
Grant. But he wasn't truly left, was he?
No, that's what he hated him. Alan Grant didn't like him.
That's right.
But the thing is, in the early days, they wouldn't be allowed to do that anyways, because you can't splinter your audience. You want to sell the comic book to the most amount of people as you possibly could.
That's right.
So I didn't do that really in the early days. That kind of seeped in.
Yeah.
Because Bill Savage was probably a conservative.
Yeah.
Because he loved Maggie.
That's right.
In the beginning, so they wouldn't have been so overtly political in the beginning, because they you're selling comic books. After the whole debacle with Action, they didn't want to rock the boat that way.
That's it. Cowards, a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, it I don't know. With this, it just again doesn't excite me. It's like some of the imagery is very strange. The final page, top left panel, Nash. That is, whether it's because of the shading, it makes her look as though she's got massive bloody turkey thighs, and her chest, her body seems to be compressed in the middle with the way the lines are drawn. I don't know what it is, but then you get that the image of the teeth, which looks as though it's done by somebody completely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
it's real painted artwork.
Yes, so we'll see where it goes. But it's not sitting in the sort of vein of the horrors that are happening. It's too the style to me reminds me of that crap we had where it was the kids version, which I try to not say the name. It's in. I can see it in front of me now. I don't want to say it because it brings back the memories, but I feel as though this is it. This would be the version of the story put in there rather than here. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't be as horrific. There you have it.
What do you think, Rossy?
Of Anderson?
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about it that appeals to me. I like this artist, and I like him on another story, but you know, it's tied into the omelet thing. It feels like it's like two things happen in each one, and it feels like the other 3 pages are just there for padding. It's not funny, it's not exciting, there's no crazy shit, there's no spectacle, it's not sexy. So why is it? I mean, you can do comics that aren't any of those things and still make them good, but it's not even that either. So yeah, I mean, it feels like a waste of time, space, and talent, and that's really harsh. But what part is this? Part 4 already too. This is like the 4th part of this.
It's really dragging it out, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it not only that, but it's part of a much larger story that's also dragging itself out as well. So it's like, oh God. And all the Judge Rico stuff that's going on, you know, as interludes and to the main omelet story. Yeah, this is going to test a lot of patience. So, but the artist is good. So please give him another job. What's that story I keep forgetting with the guy with the tricorn hat?
Brigham Doom.
Yeah, just don't bring him back for Brigham Doom.
Okay, input. Dare you contact the mightiest being in the galaxy?
Okay, everybody, here we go. Letter of the week goes to the Shill King himself. Get off your knees, Ashley Beecham from Kent, and he does his usual arse-licking spiel to Tharg, although he dares to call the oubliette the omelette. How dare he? We took that. He says that this meh epic is totally different to all the amazing ones from years ago, and with the cobbled-together armour and gladiatorial bollocks each week, he has dubbed Joe Medieval Dread. He basically lets Tharg give him one and then begs for a reach round to finish him off. He also goes on about what will happen to celebrate the 50th of the Prog, and Tharg tells him to keep Mother's Day weekend free, but not for your mothers, as women. Aye, second class to Tharg and Rebellion. Remember that not quite all women special? They soon forgot about women after that, didn't they? The sexist hypocrites. He's also excited about the upcoming GI-19 Trooper straight to streaming cartoon, as he hopes there will be hoping for a movie adaptation and a making of book in the near future. Which he won't buy anyway. Well, dear Ashley, I'm sure that if such books are produced, they'll be half price within a month, having pages missing, and who knows what else. So you'll be quids in. So anyway, next up we have Reed B from the Great Satan, USA. And this human just says that he can get his weekly filler prog in the US now, and he has the biggest collection of progs in Kansas. Obviously, he's checked every single household in the state, and Tharg is happy for him. Next up is Gary.
Wait! This just in.
Oh my God! Who else is dead?
No, Ashley. Well, the spelling of the King's English, because apparently Ashley's misspelled tandem, and they left it in.
Well, it's
letter, he did. It's Tandom. He spelled it.
I'll reread that.
Missing an E.
Oh dear. Oh yeah. Near the top, running in tandem. Yeah. Reed Beebe from The Great Satan, USA's next. Oh, we've done that one yet. Next up is Gary Pickup from Salford, and he has a hard-on for anything in the prog that mentions anything Salford. And he really knows that there's a collection of Mean Arena, and due to being one of the fans that Rebellion deserve, he hasn't actually got the book. Yet he goes on and on and on and on about how awesome Salford is, which is for any of our listeners from around the world. It's in the Midlands of England. Don't let them believe it's the North. I'm from the North, and that's in the fucking Midlands.
He said that's a collection going on my read list, so he hasn't got it yet.
I know.
Oh my God.
And how long's it been out?
Oh
God.
2022.
It's pathetic, isn't it? Next, we have Jack Wainwright from Essex. And he is an absolute twat who asks Fag if he's woke because of his climate lecture in the Nair Centre the other week. Honestly, that was a fucking letter. And we end finally with N.A. Parry, who always says N.A. Parry. It probably stands for not asked Parry, from Burton. Says something, but I've had too much of an exciting weekend to bother continuing reading all these letters of shite, so that's the end.
Well, he mentions Judge D, so I hope Thor didn't post that, didn't put that letter in there, thinking that to forewarn us that Judge D is coming back, because that was a horrible strip.
Yeah.
I think I'll put coconuts in when you start talking about Ashley's letter.
He's fucking terrible, isn't he?
So he's super optimistic. I give him that.
Oh, every time I see his posts, I'm just like, come on, Ashley. You can't be fucking believing this. And like I say, unless if I'd never met him, I would think it was fucking Thag made somebody up and was writing these things. Honestly, it's terrible, isn't it? It's like,
but you love him. We all love Ashley.
I love it because I think if Ashley goes to the 50th, he would gladly lay down and let every member of Rebellion have a turd in his open mouth.
Jeez.
Come on, you know it's true.
Yeah, well.
Jason, I'm here. Hang on, let me just get my little bib
pass
on.
him around like an old doobie.
Ashley. They'll probably open his fucking shirt, open his chest, put new batteries in, because he's a fucking robot.
Yeah. We all love Ashley.
Yeah.
He's the shield droid.
Oh, well done.
How did we talk about the Judgment in Gotham before? Like how big that trade is? I mean, size-wise, not page count.
I think I mentioned I saw it at the comic shop in Folkestone. The artwork looks good inside it, but it's oversized, nice and big, but it's just way too thin.
Now, when you say it's oversized, is it the size that they originally released it when it was it Titan Books?
I'm trying to think. I'd have to go into me
because I have the original.
I'm trying to remember how big it was on the shelf.
Flint and I are both looking at our Dread graphic.
I'd say it's about another. It's probably about another 4 inches bigger than the Prog height-wise, something like that.
Oh, so it's
a couple of inches width-wise extra. You know what I mean? It's lovely to look at.
Well, it's the same size than when it was originally released all those years ago.
Because I have got all them paperbacks and stuff, or the weird sort of paperbacks with the spines and stuff. But I just think for 30 quid, I think it's like 64 pages or something.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
They should have collected them all in the volume.
Yeah.
I would have bought that. If they'd done that size, I'd have bought that as a collected thing. But I'm not paying 30 quid for something that is just like, well, I don't know, it's fucking like a pamphlet. I'm surprised they didn't call it a fucking omnibus. You know what they're like.
Well, some of those, didn't they do one that was kind of like an in-between one that's like they wanted to get one out so you wouldn't forget about it, and it was...
Well, they had a contract to do 4 or 5 Dread stories or 3, and so while they were waiting for, I think what happened was they had to put a couple of fillers in there because Die Laughing was the last one, I think, where the Joker becomes one of the Dark Judges.
Right.
Yeah, the second one was Cam Kennedy, and it was just an action sequence where Dredd stops Batman getting to a certain point.
Wasn't there one where the Riddler was the villain?
Yeah, that was that was an alien using the Riddler. That was That was like the killing. That was like Johnny Alpha's The Killing, where Dredd
Right.
is with all these mercenaries, and him and Batman have to team up to get rid of the bad guy.
And then there was a Dread and Lobo one, right?
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun.
Now
Yeah.
you'd think that they'd want to cash in on Supergirl and say like, hey, we'll give you like, a few $100 or whatever it takes to reprint. Like, we would like to reprint the Lobo story because he's going to be in the Supergirl movie. Whether it's a hit or not, you might sell extra copies because the people who do see that movie might like Lobo. But no,
Yeah.
no.
I
Or maybe
think-
DC said no. Yeah.
Oh, is that it? No.
Go ahead, John.
I'm just looking on my shelves to see where it is. I think because it's not a hardback, they're not relevant. They're
It's
not
a
on
soft
the shelves.
cover.
Yeah.
So
Dread.
did we already say which was our favorite, or
No, not yet.
Not
okay.
yet.
Well,
No,
go ahead,
it's-
Rossy. What was your favorite?
Oh, Dead World.
Yeah, I think it's Dead World for the three of us.
Yep,
Goes
Dead
out
World, because the art is exactly what I'm expecting. Story's enjoyable. It's the only thing that I'll read each week, and I think I want to see it now. So
Okay,
the next part.
what-
Returns.
I wasn't going to talk about this prior to, and I'll leave it up to John whether he wants to talk about his thing.
Yeah, yeah. What your
I
sex
wasn't
change?
I wasn't going to talk about this, but
Go on.
the letters page inspired me with the whole thing of like the fans comics deserve.
Yeah.
So I got an email from a guy who wants to make a movie based on You're the Hunter from the Future. And in case you haven't been listening to the issues, I was the guy who got in touch with the guy who published You're the Hunter of the Future comics back in the day that the movie's based on, and translated it, did all the grunt upscaling work, blah, 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 and brought it to AP and they published it. So I'm not the guy to grant rights to it, but I can point in the direction you would need to go to start the ball rolling. So, but I couldn't answer the guy right away because I had other stuff going on, and I kind of smelled that this may not be legit because he didn't mention. I think he mentioned he had done something, but he didn't offer any links to IMDb credits or student film on YouTube or anything to indicate he'd had any kind of experience. So then I get another one saying like, hey, are you getting these emails? It wasn't that long. It was like a few days. Hey, are you getting these emails? And then he sends me an archive.org link to the movie He goes, hey, maybe you'd like to see the movie again. It's hard to get a hold of, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, I was able to get a Blu-ray of the movie at a pretty good price, like literally anywhere online. I mean, you just look on eBay and Amazon, guaranteed you're going to get one for less than probably $20. So I didn't say that, didn't answer that one right away. And then I get one saying like, hey, I contacted Reb Brown's people and it looks like he's up for a role in it, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he could play yours dad or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, the whole story is about Yor looking for his people, and I don't think he remembers his family. So if it would be a very small cameo if you're sticking to the source material, because
Why are you
his dad-
entertaining lunatics?
But it gets better. So then I get one saying like, hey, what do you think of Jason Momoa? And this is the short version. At this point, from the way things are worded and the length of some of the way some of the thoughts are put together, I'm thinking this guy's probably on some kind of spectrum. And I want to be respectful to our fathers of kids who actually are on the spectrum. But I honestly think this guy's on the spectrum. So he says like, hey, what do you think about Jason Momoa as Yor? And I'm like,
Either that or he's fucking with you.
Can you get Jason Momoa? Is there? I have no idea what his connections are or who he could. Are you?
He
just
doesn't have any, Rossy, because you don't work it that way.
Yeah, are you just dartboarding? first of all, Yor in the source material is like barely out of his teens. Red Brown was a little too old to play him in the movie, but he did a fine job, and most people haven't read the comics, so it's fine. Jason Momoa looks like he's pushing 50.
Seriously, why are you entertaining this lunatic?
Well, so I'm thinking, because he's like keeps sending me email. I think I sent him
Block
one
him.
so he put his phone number in like almost everyone. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to settle this once and for all. So I called him.
Oh Jesus!
So the short version of it wasn't like a.
So he's coming over to your house next weekend with some duct tape and rope.
You know, he may as well be because he's definitely somewhere on a spectrum, and I'm not saying that to be mean. So I asked him point blank. I said, "Have you contacted me because I did the comic book? Did you read the comic book?" And he said no. So almost all of so he's like more interested in making the movie, making a remake of the movie than going to the comic book source material. And I'm like, well, the movie's not regarded as a masterpiece, but if you went back to the source material, you might have something. But I don't think modern Hollywood wants to do a story about a blonde white man trying to find his superior people who are blonde white people. That is a problem with
just like Hitler.
The story. The comic did originate in Argentina, just saying. So we know how you feel about them. So
was the writer Adolf Hitler?
No.
Hitler, no.
Hilter. What was the Monty Python thing? Hilter.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the conversation just kind of goes on from there. It's like, yeah, I don't think Jason Momoa is the guy. Well, who do you think we should play? I'm like, I don't know. You'd have to find an unknown, like a young unknown. Well, he's like, well, do you have any connections? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
no.
So I said, so basically, you're a guy who just loves the movie and wants to remake the movie, which is cool. But I've asked you 2 or 3 times. I asked you once in an email, and I asked you 2 or 3 times in the conversation. Do you have anything to indicate that you can make a film or bring it across the finish line or whatever? Just send me, even if you're like guy who gives person coffee in an episode of NCIS or something, or even if you were just like an intern with any kind of entertainment company,
or even a fluffer,
or even like the shit that I did for sub full moon Canon film level low budget stuff. Anything, if I could say like, yeah, I'm credited as producer for Vampirist Lady of the Night, and and then tell the story of what I actually did, but it was still like enough to get me at the American film market for a weekend. And I saw this is a guy who lives in Florida, who loves Yor and wants to make the movie based on it, but couldn't be bothered to read the comic book or buy it. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to point you in the right direction. The reason I wanted to talk to the guy is like, if he's real, I will give him the email to the guy. Just a second, this is my dad. I will give him the email to the guy that, I contacted.
Yeah. Here's my advice. Don't do that.
No. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So, but if he had been real and just, because sometimes even movie people are kind of weird like that. So give him a chance. But I was like, okay, I'll give you I would have pointed him in the right direction. I said, I kind of don't want to do that now because I don't want him like me, flooded with emails, half of them being like, did you get this? Did you get this? And kind of a waste of time one where it's like, here's a link to see the movie. And so I said, I'll tell you what though, send you digital copies of the comic so you can read it, and that way you don't embarrass yourself not knowing what the source material is. There's a link. I sent them a link to the Italian 4-hour version of the Your thing with subtitles that you can watch on archive.org. They said there's, even if you do nothing else with it, if you like the movie, you get like twice as much of it here. And, you know, we'll take it from there. So then I get this email back saying, like, let me get this straight. You can't point me towards anybody who's got financing or leads or.
Oh my God.
And I said, no, I can't do anything for you. Honestly, on the level that he's talking about, like studio film and all that, or even Netflixing, I can't help him. And I told him, I said, there's another comic book movie based on something from Argentina called The Eternaut. I said, it's on Netflix. There's not a bad special effects in the whole thing, but it's kind of slow moving, and it just kind of came and went with very little mention in American geek pop culture, other than this probably would have been good way back when the comic came out, but so many other things have been like it since. And its main appeal is that it takes place in Argentina, so the people in Argentina went like, whoa, this is happening to us for a change. That's kind of why they consider it a masterpiece. And the art's really, really good. So I said, if you want to see that, it's probably still on Netflix. You kind of need to do your homework. So they could talk, if you were going to talk to the guy, you'd have to mention that. And so I don't think that's gonna happen. So anyway, but that's like going back to what my point was. It's like that feels like what a lot of the fans are like these days, where you go like, isn't that like a really, not to be a gatekeeper or anything, but there's some things that are like so basic that, like, if you say you like Judge Dredd, it kind of has to be more than just the Judge Death stuff or the Brian Boland stuff, So, I mean, you could say you like those issues and all that, but if you
you have to have more of a working knowledge.
Right. I mean, and maybe we make fun of the fans who haven't read the Prog since the 80s.
If you're planning on doing a movie based on a property, you have to research the fucking property.
Right. So, and maybe you don't have to know everything, because, like, I'll be honest with you, I haven't studied your sequels that are about his son.
But you didn't need to, because they're about his son, they're not about him.
And I had no interest in. I mean, I looked at them and I said the artwork's really good, but there's the stuff that I like about isn't in the sequels. It's mostly just like caveman drama and action stuff. I like the sci-fi thing, the sci-fi twist that happens at the end of and I don't remember that being in the sequels. There was just something about it that didn't have the same appeal to me. So I didn't plan on doing it. So I didn't, and it's in a different language, so I didn't, pursue it. But it's like you could get, not to advocate piracy, but it's not that hard to get a copy of your comic I did, whether digitally or there's people on eBay asking like double digits for them, but I think some comic stores, actual stores, are selling them for cover price. So yeah, and the fact that you didn't even read them before contacting me, I'm kind of like, well, they exist. Why didn't you?
Well, that's a red flag.
Right. So, and then again, if he didn't know they had existed, which would be perfectly reasonable, because not all of Antarctic Press stuff is out there all over the place, and the print run was, not huge, so I could get that, but it was just, and it was a lot of the same kind of round robin questioning that you get from people who are, have their brains work a little different than ours. So yeah, it was I'm done with that. So,
You know what we're going to hear, John?
What's that?
Next week, Rossy will go, so I came home from work and there's this guy standing outside and...
Oh, God.
no, I know. He was wearing a blonde Yor wig with the medallion.
Oh, it's funny. So let's do movies and TV, Rossy. You got I think you're leaving at 8:30, so you got 5 minutes to talk about the movie you saw.
Yeah, so actually this ties directly into that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
God.
so the real fast rundown, John, when you've seen The Furious, and I know you will, we'll talk about that. Some of the best action. It's very cartoonish. It's like beyond John Wick cartoonish, but those stuntmen, geez, Louise, and the choreography of the fight scenes, holy crap. Amazing stuff. If you like action, watch it. Also saw Backrooms and Obsession.
Oh, yeah.
My coworkers are into it because they're Gen Zs. All the characters are Gen Z. Well, not so much in Backrooms, but you could see why.
Backrooms the one that they did on YouTube or something, and they got money for it.
It was a YouTube director, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's good. Both are good. Both Obsession I thought was the more enjoyable of the two, but good, kind of different, creepy horror movie. Backrooms you kind of have to get into. My dad hated Backrooms, and I said, well, I explained it to him, and he says, you got all that from this? And I'm like, yeah, you kind of have to read the movie. It's not just laid out for you. But
well, it also helps that you probably watched the review of it before you watched it.
I may have, but they didn't explain it. It was just Jay and Mike kind of bitching. Actually, Mike, I think, bitched about his. Oh no, that was Obsession. Anyway, so the one I want to talk about is it was called Mockumentary. No, it's called Is it Mockumentary? No, it's called Mockbuster. So it's about
that's the guys. That's the guys that do the Asylum movies, right? They didn't have a. He went and did his own movie, right, with the Asylum guys.
So it's an Australian guy who always wanted to be a filmmaker. So he was at his wits end. He was like, I really want to make a real feature film, and he'd been making some industrial films. And so he just sent an email to the Asylum guys, and they said, yeah, sure. So he flew over here, met with them, talked with Eric Roberts and his wife, and it was going to be the Land That Time Forgot. And another Asylum had already made that one, but they wanted to remake it for some reason, and they just for asking, they put him as head director of this thing, and it's about his journey to the Land That Time Forgot, making this thing. So I'm calling bullshit for a few things. Now I'm going to say, if you Flint, especially for you, John, possibly for you, it is pretty entertaining, and it is.
But it's probably all staged.
Well, I am going to call bullshit on a few things. The Asylum, and then when they talk to the Asylum people, everybody working for the Asylum, they should have their own reality show. That shit was really funny. They know exactly what they make and who they are. I'm not, at the risk of sounding like a stuck record, I think even their days are numbered, because there's no reason to watch a boring ass Asylum movie. They even say, in the movie itself, there's these long monologues with convoluted explanations about how the science works or why the monsters are attacking or whatever, and then really bad, not bad for the time period and budget that they have, but not great looking CGI effects. With AI, unless Asylum are complete mavericks that they don't give a fuck what Hollywood or audiences think, and embrace the AI and make their movies look like 100 times better. That could happen, but it's very home movie looking filmmaking. And then you see, like, behind the scenes, they've got this, it's like a half circle that's supposed to be like the top of a submarine. Like, okay, now pretend like you're climbing out of the thing, and it's almost like a comedian's bit where it's like, oh yeah, I'm coming out of the top of the submarine here. But I'm calling bullshit, because number one, the guy made the documentary while he's making the movie, and in the story of the documentary, he's like, they just like accepted me, and I don't have anybody that I know I don't know any production companies here in Australia. They want to make it here in Australia for some reason. And so they give him this bullet point. They call it the one pager. It's like this bullet points what's going to happen in the movie. And he's like, I don't know how to prepare for it. I don't know what I'm going to need. All I have is this like one pager thing. And I'm like, bitch, it's Edgar Rice fucking Burroughs. You can get the story on Project Gutenberg for free. The book isn't hard to find. Watch the Doug McClure movie. Watch the original Asylum movie, and chances are 80% of it's going to be basically the same shit. You can do the homework. It's not, but he keeps calling it like this stupid dinosaur movie. It's like, bro, you don't go into your cheap ass dinosaur movie calling it a cheap ass dinosaur movie. This is Edgar Rice fucking Burroughs adventure classic with dinosaurs and submarines and all kinds of exciting Nazis and all kinds of shit. It's going to be exciting as hell. So, and then when they're making the movie, he kind of acts helpless, like, oh, I don't know how to get the costumes and the assemblage. So this very flamboyant producer that they have working for the asylum, who you get to really like, it's like, oh, oh boy, here we go. But you kind of get to like the guy before the end of the movie, and he's just like, okay, fabulous, love it. He's that kind of guy, and that guy just in his own gay way cracks the whip and pulls the thing together. But I can't believe that this guy would be like. I could see this guy coming in and using the asylum technique, and they keep telling him, when directors try to get fancy, that's when they screw up. He said, just respect the process. He says, there's a process you have to follow.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, well, there's this whole issue on the first day of shooting that, like, oh, the costumes weren't approved, and I'm like, how did nobody tell him that? And how did they wait?
Well, they have to do stuff like that, or else they wouldn't have a documentary.
Right. So there's a lot of stuff that's like, well, how did that? There's a couple of things where, like, the actors sort of flip out on set, and but it feels. I mean, he got the movie made. It looks like they show little clips, like maybe enough to fill a trailer. It looks like an asylum movie. There was the special effects guy. Tells him, like, the blocking of the chasing is going to be difficult for him to do if it's so controlled. And they made it here in the 21st century when they had phones and they can telecommunicate. It feels weird that they would not have all that figured out ahead of time, even as slapdash and wonky as the asylum stuff comes across when you see the final product. But it's like, how did he not know anybody who could get, like for them to just hand him a movie? It feels like he must have gone to them and said, oh, and by the way, I can make this documentary about the asylum at the same time, and it's like, how does he not know anybody, but he knows enough people to put this film crew together to film it while they're making it. Some of the stuff I don't believe was actually done while he was working on it, when he's talking to Eric Roberts, and he's talking to this other woman who made an asylum movie. I think that all happened after the fact. But so if you don't take it, like a lot of documentaries, if you don't take it as gospel truth being shot live while you're doing it, it's fine. It's entertaining. It's funny to see like how cheap and how slapdash the sets and costumes actually are. And they, John, they do. I thought of you.
Yep.
They flip out because at one point, well into the production, the little, and we're talking about flags, the flags of the different countries involved at on the submarine. The little flag patches are not much bigger than 2 postage stamps put together. And one of them was, the Russian one was upside down. And they're like, they filmed all the Russian scenes with this flag upside down. They're like, oh my God. And I'm like, really? I mean, with all the other things in the asylum movies that they kind of don't get right and just let it go, this is an issue. But yeah. But and the guy comes, so he's like a new dad. The other thing was like, he's a new dad. He's living in a nice house with a yard in a nice neighborhood, and his main source of income is making these industrial films. And he sort of drops in the middle of it that his parents seem to have this big factory sort of industrial company that, and I think most of those industrial films were made for his parents' company.
Of course they were.
And then they do show the films that he made for YouTube. And it's just him and his goofy buddies in front of a green screen with on purpose bad wigs and non-acting, sort of like look, it's us. The whole joke is, look, it's us. So it's not like the Backrooms guy who, those shorts from what I've seen were very cinematic, and I'd give that guy money to make a feature film. Some of those YouTube shorts are like, I'd give this person money to make a feature film. Why aren't they making a feature film? What's wrong with all the gatekeepers in Hollywood that they haven't seen this? And probably they have, and still for whatever reason passed on it. So, yeah, I'm calling bullshit. And the guy just kind of like smiles his way through everything. He actually looks a little bit like the pitch guy, the super easy, barely an inconvenience guy.
Oh, so,
yeah. So he just kind of like smiles and goes like, "Oh, I can," and he's got this attitude through. The other thing that bugged me, in addition to just like the whole stupid dinosaur movie thing, he has this attitude through the whole thing that like he's better than this. Like, when do I get to make a real movie? And then it's like, bro, if I got a chance to direct an Edgar Rice Burroughs movie, I know that they're all like, oh well, and Flint's going to be like, oh, it'd take like 5 years to make, blah blah blah. But
I'll probably take you 10.
Yeah, because it's 90 whole minutes. Well, how long? Well, I mean, the Comic-Con stuff was about 90 minutes altogether. So, however many years that was. Hopefully, I'd have more of a crew working behind me though. So, anyway, yeah, it just seemed like, well, I probably could have gotten the Comic-Con movies things done faster if I'd had that gay guy, cracking the whip.
That sounded good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Well, once you see the movie in Flint, I think you probably will. You kind of roll your eyes at that guy at first, and then it's sort of like
You probably want to slap him.
Yeah, but it's kind of like he knows his asylum movies, and he's like, he gives the guy like, again, just like what I was talking about the Your guy, he gives him his homework assignment. He's like, have you seen this Road Warrior movie? And the guy goes, well, I've seen Mad Max. He goes, I love that answer. And then he goes, and he gives him like a stack of asylum movies to watch, and it's like, this is what you're going to be doing. Hopefully nerd that I am, I was kind of like trying to see which movies he gave him, and I was like, I didn't see if he had given him the original.
Richard Colliff would be able to do an Asylum movie, no problem, because I think he's watched every single one.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, once you've seen like 5 or 6, you get the pattern. And at the end of it, they gave him a chance to come to America to direct like a 1-day shoot with Michael Pare. And at first, the guy was wondering. Spoiler! The guy's like wondering, like, well, why do we film all this? It's the typical Asylum thing with convoluted dialogue that makes it even more complicated and all this other stuff. And then like he gets this epiphany. He goes, oh, this is the American film star that's going to be like at the top of the credits, and there's like 3 sets that the guy's on. There's like a military office, and then there's a hospital room, and so he's able to just pound it out in a day. And anyway, I don't want to give away the ending, but he does have a screening of the movie for the family and friends and cast. And so, it's not a complete disaster, right? Part of me kind of wants to see the final product. Part of me knows exactly what it's going to look like because it's the Asylum. So I'm like, and I don't want to sit through the boring, convoluted. I wasn't rooting for I wasn't really rooting for the guy to get the movie done. It wasn't like the Ed Wood movie where it's like, yeah, even though you know what Plan 9 from Outer Space is going to look like, you kind of root for Johnny Depp and his weird cast of friends. But this one was kind of like, I wasn't rooting for them because, the movie did get made and it probably looked like every other Asylum movie, and I'm sure it was all fine. And he didn't have.
Pretty soon you'll have your own weird cast of friends, Rossy, because your guy's going to show up at your doorstep.
I know, right? So, but
is that all you watch? Is that the documentary and that it?
So the other three movies I mentioned, but we'll talk about them. Like, hopefully John will see 2 or 3 and we'll compare notes. And then I watched the beginning of the He-Man movie, and I liked it, but I see what some of the problems were, and I thought it was. I watched it. I made the mistake of starting it after I got home from work and couldn't stay awake. It's 2 hours and some change, so I was like, I just can't stay awake, and I want to enjoy this. So I put it on hold, and then while I was cleaning the house, I listened to the audio commentary for some Kino Lorber Blu-rays I got. It was Hercules in the Haunted World with Christopher Lee. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, Cobra Woman, which were Maria Montez movies, and Star Pilot, which was an Italian sci-fi movie that was released in America around it. It was made in the 60s around the time of Batman, and then released in America to cash in on Star Wars. And the restoration is amazing. It is an amazing, beautiful movie to look at.
What was Christopher Lee in the Hercules in the Haunted World?
He was basically the Faust type character who sells his soul to Satan.
It's kind of unusual to see him in a Hercules movie.
I know the Kino Lorber release, true to everything they do, is like the ultimate version. They had 2 film historians talk about it. And you get 2 discs, one with the Italian with subtitles, so it's Christopher Lee dubbed in Italian, and then you get, and he was pissed off that he didn't get a chance to, because he speaks Italian. And then you get the American release, which is a very different movie, because there's like scenes missing, and it's been cut down to be,
kind of like what they did with Star Crash.
Well, they didn't cut that much out of Star Crash, but yeah.
Well, they changed the context of some of the scenes, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's not Carol Monroe's voice. So, but both of those movies are beautiful, beautiful movies to look at. Star Pilot's weird because there's a scene at the beginning of the Italian version that shows like it suggests that this is a movie within a movie. The actual director of the movie is directing another movie, and then they move on to Star Pilot. So they're implying that none of this is real, and it plays like a parody of a lot of stuff at the time. Like there's a spy movie in there, or there's a spy story in there. There's a space. There's the space stuff. There's like 2001: A Space Odyssey stuff that was made before 2000: A Space Odyssey was released as a movie, but the book had been out. So there, it goes from thing to thing to thing. Some of it goes on, and it's a little bit tedious, much like my review of it. But the center point is this absolutely gorgeous actress who plays this really flighty. They kept calling her like Carnaby Street swinging 60s kind of girl. And, it's like, oh, the scientists are explaining shit. And then she just like comes in like a wrecking ball and just takes over the scene. Just chews up every scene she's in. I forgot who, she's like the girlfriend of one of the guys. And she's the star of the movie with no doubt.
The ginger?
No, that's the evil captain of the aliens. And the ginger, they kept calling her Dora because, I mean, she's maybe 5 or 10 years older than the swinging 60s chick. Perfectly attractive, but compared to her, she seems like the mother-in-law. So it's a lot of fun. And the thing was with Star Pilot, like the other people were basically the two guys who were talking about the Hercules movie. They were definitely film historians and knew their shit and had a very nerdy film conversation. And then the Cobra Woman and Alibaba, the person was sort of doing a Tom Hatton thing where I think it was she who was reading facts about the cast and the crew and the making of and other movies that were made at the time. And the film geek in me, while I'm cleaning the house and not really watching it, I enjoyed the hell out of it. The Star Pilot one, it was more of a conversation between two people who didn't really know that much about the movie. And in their defense, apparently not a lot is known about the movie because half the people are dead. And it was not the kind of movie people... They even said, like, if you had seen this movie around the time Star Wars came out without the movie within a movie thing and explaining that this was supposed to be a comedy satire, you would have gone, what the hell is this? But now with all the pieces back in place and it being such a pleasure to watch, to look at least, it's fine. It's pretty good. So they were just kind of like waffling, going like, oh, look, and Dora, and oh, he doesn't look comfortable in that costume. And boy, oh boy, I'll bet he was wishing he could show his hair off. And that's, this kind of just touching, almost like a bad movie night sort of commentary. They weren't that funny, but they were just kind of winging it. And it was as commentaries goes, it was fine, but not super informative, or I didn't learn much listening to it. So, but I can hardly wait to actually watch the movie. But I didn't actually get to see it. I just kind of like looked around the corner and saw the girl doing shenanigans, and I was like, yeah, I can hardly wait to watch this all in one sitting. So, and with
what
that,
about you, John?
I have to go.
All right, keep going.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Chatty bye.
He went 20 minutes over.
I know. Maybe flooded now.
I'm in the downstairs room, so I can literally just walk out the door.
Toodle pip.
Have fun. What did you watch, John? Did you watch any?
Just all the groups. I had on time.
Oh yeah, your bands. You went to the bands.
Yeah. But it all starts again on Thursday when I pick Sam up again. When we go rocking again, but a different type of music. Got Sleeper and EMF this Friday and Saturday. and then I take them back Sunday after tea, and then I'm back at work for 2 weeks. Then I'm off.
Right.
But,
Well, for movies and
yeah.
TV for me, I didn't really watch that much because I've been watching the football. So I'll leave that. But we'll do Kickstarter corner real quick. I'm compiling all the stuff for the Kyla Treasury, and should have the proof done today and be sent out today, so we can have a printed proof of it to see what it looks like.
Nice.
So it came to 136 pages, which is good value for money if you look at the Kickstarter. So that's the end of that.
That's 3 Rebellions omnibuses, isn't it? That easily.
Well, it's thicker than the Judgment on Gotham thing.
Yeah.
So that's it for Kickstarter corner. So what's the plans for today, or anything else going on?
Basically, have tea, watch the news, and quickly get some sleep before I'm back at work tonight.
Yeah, I'll get that Kyla stuff to do and then move on to something else.
And I've got the House of Dragon to watch, but I'll have to just watch that tomorrow now.
You remembered.
I know. I sat there and I thought, right, what's the name of that program?
All right, anything to say before we hit the road?
No, just get ready for the downfall of not so great Britain now that we got a socialist communist loser in charge.
Well, you got 7 prime ministers in 10 years. That's not good for stability.
I know. Just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Well, apparently he's supposed to open up the North Sea for oil, for drilling.
No, I can't see that. Although I did see flashing up on my screen that 2 people have left the cabinet. I don't know whether he sacked them or they left. One was Reeves, I think it was. I can't remember who. Lammy. Reeves and Lammy, 2 absolute buffoons.
Well, that's probably why they left, because he needs to surround himself by people that are loyal to him.
That's right. And it'll cripple the country even more.
Well, on that bombshell, I'll stop recording.